James Franco? If the sexual misconduct allegations against him don't finally put an end to the dumbest of dumb excuses floating around Hollywood about why these men do what they do, then nothing will. You know the excuse I'm talking about, don't you? The one about how these sex monster moguls were all just reacting to having been ugly, fat, socially awkward geeks in high school who couldn't get a girl, or boy. Somehow this was supposed to excuse the fact that as grown ugly, fat, socially awkward men, they sexually assaulted others. No, they did it because they could get away with it. Now we know for sure it's bull, because the chances that Franco was ever ugly, or fat? Slimmer than Victoria Beckham's arms. As for being socially awkward in high school? Who isn't? Even if he ever was any of those things, clearly it didn't last long, since he was cast as the bad boy / heartthrob when he was 19 in Freaks and Geeks. The idea that he, one of the handsomest men in an industry of handsome men, would have to sexually assault a woman, or try to seduce a 17-year-old in order to make up for his lack of lady luck as a teenager is ludicrous, but dismissing it out of hand can be just as ludicrous. Sex is the coin of the realm in Hollywood, and Franco has made some serious coin selling all he's got. That doesn't make him an assaulter, however. But the truth is, this guy has a tougher time keeping his clothes on than Lena Dunham, albeit with better results, and has done more sex scenes than Ron Jeremy, albeit with better results. He directs a scene in The Disaster Artist for which he won a Golden Globe with just a sock on his moving man part. In fact, his sister-in-law, Alison Brie, told people he was naked the first day she showed up on set for a fitting. It actually made a lot of sense for him to be directing in character, she said. The whole movie is so meta in a lot ways. Dear God, she didn't really excuse him that way, did she? Yup. Franco also stars in The Deuce on HBO, which is about the porn industry in the 70s and has more sex than a porn movie in the 70s. Playing a porn star and having on-screen sex doesn't mean you're not a porn star making porn. It just means it's porn with pretensions. And therein lies the problem. It's 2018, and still women must take these parts and probably try to convince themselves that this is what they studied to become. No. Not unless they studied to become hookers. It isn't apostrophe T. But the pressure to constantly shed their clothes and their inhibitions as though doing so is a breakthrough instead of a breakdown of sanity is tremendous. Enough. Actresses and female directors should band together the way they have over sexual misconduct and just refuse to force women to do hardcore sex scenes if they don't want to. Good stories don't always require raw sex scenes any more than they require out-of-control pyrotechnics. Actresses all stood up at the Golden Globes and declared #time's up. Now to make it stick, they should say the same thing every time some slimebag director demands they do an unnecessarily graphic sex scene. Graphic sex and nudity aren't always integral to the plot, but they are certainly integral to perpetrating the atmosphere of sexual aggression in Hollywood. And oh, but the way? Just because Franco's handsome and smart doesn't mean he can't also be creepy and weird.